Hi guys, we're just going to try and give you an installation video of a Blackvue DR750S 2-channel front and back into a Ford Fiesta. It's quite a common vehicle and we get a lot of requests for this type of vehicle, so what we're going to do is give you a video on how to do a full install, including all the wiring and unboxing. So this is going in with a Power Magic Pro. Just about to unbox the Power Magic Pro. We've discussed with the customer already how we want this set up. So you've got a couple of options on setting this up. You can set it up based on voltage. So you've got 12 volts, which is a cut off on voltage. You've got 12.5 volts, and then you've got settings for higher voltage vehicles such as your HGVs, which are 22.8 cut off and 23.2. So we are on this side of the box, which is what we're interested in. We'll set this to 12 volts cut off, and for us you can also in addition set a timer as well. We're not going to set a timer because the customer's interested in getting the maximum out of the unit. So what we're going to set it to is infinity, which is on the right hand side here. That's the unit there. So what we're going to do is for 12 volts, 1 goes up and 2 goes down, and for 3, 4 and 5 it just stays all down, and that's at infinity. So it's set for a voltage cut off. What we do just for tidying up now, these are your 3 leads. So you've got your ground lead, which you're going to be earthing off or something. You've got your battery lead, which is going to be a positive, something that's constant in your fuse box. And then you've got your ACC lead, which is ignition. That's got to be an appliance which comes on and off with ignition. And this is the Molex plug, the dash camera cigarette lighter socket, which the cigarette lighter plug from the dash camera will go into. So this is just unboxing the unit. That's a rear camera there. Rear camera on this on the 650 is 720p. Front one's full 1080. And this is your QR code, which you're going to need for cloud access. So when you sign up for a cloud account, you end up having to scan that QR code. You've got the same QR code on the side of the front unit as well. So if you ever lose that, you've got it on the side of the unit, which is just there. We're going to just pop out the leads. So there'll be 2 leads inside the box. There'll be a lead for the rear cable, rear cable which runs into the rear camera, and there'll be a cigarette lighter lead, which is your DC power, which is right here. And that'll plug in like so. And this is your rear lead. So it's important to note the way these ends go. This end here, the one with the right angle, it's titled S and F. This will go at the front of the camera, and the one that's titled with an R is your rear lead for the rear of the camera. This will go into the rear camera like so. So it'll just go into that once we've got it fitted. It'll just slide into there. It's quite a stiff connection. You tend to find you have to give it a good wiggle, and it'll click, and that's it. That's it in place. For now, as we need that end to run through the kind of rubber grommets, we will we'll take that off. So starting off in the rear installation, we're going to use the Blackvue pry tool that they give you. They give you that inside the box. So we're going to try in this installation not use any of our tools. And what you see here is if you pry underneath the rubber, you should be able to hit onto the plastic. So once you find the clips, you're looking to put your pry tool into the clip, and it's easier said than done. It just requires a little bit of patience. Okay, and it should come apart like so. At this point, you've got a nice gap to start running your cable through. So you run your cable through from the chassis up into the top here. The rubber will come off like so if you just pull it off. Okay, and that's the headline. If you just pull it down, be enough room in there to then pop your hand through. There's a couple of tricks to getting the cable through this rubber kind of grommet. You can lube up that grommet as well, and you can, I've seen other installers lubing it up, so you can maybe put in some sort of grease in there, which can sometimes help on the tight grommets. In most circumstances you can just get the cable through. You can use, for the sake of it, you can use cable ties as well. So some installers will use some cable ties. They'll basically create a long cable tie, push that through first, and put the cable at the end of it. Or alternatively, you can use a thing called rods, and that will help you as well. So in this install we're going to use rods. So we've got these rods here. So we've got a bendy rod, it's got a nice soft end on the end of it, and we've got a straight, stiff rod, which is the one that we'll be using. Okay, so if I come round here, you should be able to feel your way through the rubber grommet, and you should see, again, just a kind of pushing, the technique's always quite difficult, but if you push and feel your way through, you should be ultimately be able to pull the rod through with your cable tied on the end of it. There we go. So just that's the cable now through. So if we see the end of that rod, you'll see there is our cable that we're after. So at this point we might take it through that hole and maybe pop it out. So we'll be looking to use a different type of rod now, because it'll be going through here, and more than likely we're coming out of this hole here, which you see. So you see that. Okay, so that's just come off like so. So here's our bendy rod here, and that's going to take us through like so. So I'm just going to show you this. Okay, so that's it there. And again, same kind of story, we're going to take our cable, we're going to tape it onto the end of that, like so. And we're just going to pull it through, and that's it through. And that's got enough room to allow us to fit the rear camera. At this point we don't require the rubber kind of conduit available anymore, so we're just going to now tidy it away. And reassemble. So if your rubber has come away from your plastic, it's important to put the rubber back on top of the plastic first, and not the plastic in first. So the rubber should go on top of the plastic, and then the plastic should go back into the hatch that it came from. So that's what you're seeing here, you're seeing the rubber going back on the plastic. Plastic housing. Okay, and that should just clip in like so. So that's it back in exactly the way it came out. The cable, we bought through the cable here, through this slot, so it's been ran through here, all the way through. We use this hole here to aid us. So we're just about to secure this plastic panel back on the rear tailgate, the plastic trim. A bolt goes in here, or a screw shall I say. Okay, and that's us. So again, just to rebuild the car at the rear, tuck your headliner back in behind the rubber seal. Take your hands all the way along it. So that's the rear camera mounted in. What we've done is we've used the little clips that you get inside the Blackvue just to keep the cable tidy and secure so that it doesn't move about. Okay, so for neatness, what we always do with our Power Magic Pros is we will always just tape together, to keep the wires together to stop them tangling, tape together the kind of start of the loom before the wires all separate and go into their own different locations. So at this point, so that we can feed the cable through, this rubber will need to come off like so. So always try and get the rubber in the centre part, never try and pull it at the corners where the rubber is weak. And the rubber should just come off like so. Now, the headliner should pop down and give you enough room to try and feed the cable through. Okay, so to get the cable now, which is here, from the rear cable, to get it through, what we want to do is aim it over there. So we've created another rod, pretty big size, 2 rods together. If you feed it through the headliner, you'll be able to pop it out on the side of the door trim. So it's important when you're doing this, you're fishing through the rod in such a means that the rod eventually, when it pops out and the cable pops out, it all goes behind the airbag. So you don't, once a cable comes through, the cable shouldn't go in front of the airbag in any means of way to prevent it from its operation. So it should run parallel to the airbag all the way down the front, and we'll show you when it pops out, because it should be popping out at your A-pillar. Okay, that's it popped out, and what we'll be doing now is run it along to the front door. Front rubber comes off, again always in the centre, never pull off rubber at the sides. Again, feeding it through. It should pop up on the other side. Okay, that's the rod. A bit of wiggle, you should see the cable come through. Okay, right, it's important to note that when we've done this so that the cable will trail behind the airbag, so we're just about to now, once we take this off. And now, all this cable here will be sat in parallel behind the airbag. And remove the A-pillar, which runs along the left hand side of this vehicle. You always remove the A-pillar on the side that the fuse box on it, it'll be much easier for yourself than if you remove the A-pillar on the side the fuse box is on. And that's it, that's the A-pillar off. And what we've got our cable through from the rear, so at this point, just feeding it through. Just keeping an eye on the airbag, you see the airbag here. And what we're going to do is just clip that cable in there for the rear for now. So in the Ford Fiesta, the fuse box is located behind the passenger side glove compartment. We're just about to remove the glove box. You'll see if you just prise on the ends, like so, the glove box will just fall out. Okay, so you can get the glove compartment completely out by just removing these two kind of bolt style clips. Okay, so at this point here we're going to be doing, these are the parts of the videos that you tend to find people don't really show you, so we're going to be trying to show you as much as we can here on how to run fuse tests and how to pick the right fuse that you require. we're going to be using this, which is simply a torch light, and what we'll do is we'll earth that end here, so we'll earth that on this here, like so, and this will allow us now to use this to probe into the fuse box to see which fuse is alive and which fuses are not. So it will just simply light up when it receives the live feed. So nothing there. There you go, you can see the light in the torch. There we go, if I take the light away you get a better. And where it's lighting up, we can see that there is a live feed being detected there. The fuse adapter that you'll be looking to use will be these minis. So it's a mini fuse adapter. We use a 2 amp fuse. Now it's important that the fuse which is protecting your dash camera is at the top of your fuse adapter, like so, and it's not at the bottom. The bottom one is the would protect your original device if you were to use any one of these fuses inside the fuse box. Because we found an empty slot, we don't require to use the bottom slot in the fuse adapter. So we're going to plug it in like so. This fuse adapter will get connected to the yellow wire for the Power Magic. That will be its positive feed, because we know this cable is live, it's on all the time. And for the red, which is the auxiliary cable, it's what we refer to as ignition cable, we're going to now look for a fuse which only comes on and off with the ignition.
Try that.
So we can see here there's an empty slot, there's no light on in our torch to indicate that there's any feed coming from there. So at this point we can now start the car. And you can see instantly the lights come on. If we switch off the car, it goes off, so that's an ignition. The fuse that we slotted into, because it was an empty slot, we've not had to do a polarity test in this video. A polarity test has to be done if we were to remove any of the existing fuses inside the car, so that you know which way the fuse adapter should go around. What you'll see here is fitting the adder circuit. You can only fit them in one way, it's only one way that's going to work. So here you're going to see that there's no light, so that's not the right way to fit it. If we reverse it and we fit it, you're going to see a light, so that is the correct way to fit it. And again, like I say, if you were tapping into another fuse, you would be doing a polarity test to figure out which way it should be, but because it's an empty fuse, we can just determine as so. For ease of use, this side panel can come off like so. Bit of rubber trim, and we've got an earthing point here. It's a nice bolt. Earthing point here as well. So any one of these bolts that connect to the chassis, these are really good earths, and that's where the Blackvue from the Power Magic Pro will go into. Look for a place to mount your Power Magic, so we will be looking for a gap big enough for that to go into. Somewhere that it can stick, or somewhere that it can be screwed into. The bolt here that you see going into the chassis, this will act as our earth bolt. And we've got a ring, O-ring connector like so, and that will be secured into there. That's our Power Magic earth, so that's the black cable. And it's important that you do this cable first. It's always the first cable that you do. You should always earth your Power Magic first. You should never connect up the live or the ignition. So we're just about to strip the red cable and the yellow cable, remembering that the red cable is for your ignition. So that was the fuse which only comes on when the car comes on, and stripping our yellow cable, which is going to go into the fuse adapter that we've placed into the fuse box, which is constantly powered on. So that was when our torch went in, and it stayed on all the time even when the car was off. So it'll go in like so. Just going to crimp it in place, crimp it into the middle, good crimp. Give it the test, perfect. And we're going to do the same now with the ignition cable. again, test it, make sure the connection's strong, and notice how the cables have been staggered. So they're staggered so that where the fuses line up, the fuses line up like so. So they're staggered correctly so that the end fitment is neat. Okay, so you're going to see that the fuses have now went into the slots that we had tested. You've got your live and ignition in there, and we've got the kind of Molex plug, your cigarette lighter plug line here, which we're just about to connect up. You can see that we've mounted the Power Magic as so. Then we've actually screwed this in, so you'll see the screws on each side as well as we've stuck it in as well. So that's a really good secure fitting, and that's not likely to come off at any point. And we've got an earth bolt here. So now that we've got the power cable or the power adapter to the front, we are going to now just pop in the cigarette lighter like so, tape it in. Well, you can tape it in, it's optional extra, but we tape it in to ensure a secure fit so that it never comes out. Okay, that's a secure fit. And that's your end product. At this point, what you'll be looking to do is secure the cable to the original harness of the vehicle. Now, in this car we have clips that are already designed to allow us to hold this cable, so there'll be minimum cable ties required. In most vehicles you won't necessarily have this luxury, and you will need to cable tie this DC cable out the way because your airbag deploys from this area, and you don't want the cable anywhere near your airbag's operation. We're just taping up our DC power cable and the rear camera cable together. And the tolerance gap should be exactly the same as it was prior to removal. We'll remove this plastic panel. Again, it just clips off. So what we do here is we will heat up the sticky pad, and then we'll line it up so that it's straight, like so. That'll give it some good stick. So I'm just going to reassemble the panel, the side panel here. Have a look at the design of the panel. Just clip in the side panel like so. Glove box back in. Side panel back on. And that's our DR650S in place. All cables tucked away. Really neat finish. And for the rear one, you can see the rear one on as so.